Now for the controversy. What we're about.
Alrighty. Hello and welcome in everybody to another episode of the Full Send Half Mast podcast. Tonight, it's going to be a fun one. We're going to talk about this weekend's, what did Tom say before we started? He said the cookout crash at Bowman's Gray.
The crash out.
Yeah, the crash out. That's what you said. Yeah, we'll be talking about that here tonight. The season opener for the NASCAR Cup Series weekend. There with at Bowman's Gray, we'll be talking about that. The winner, some of the drama, some of the fun that goes along with that. Also want to talk about the Bathurst 12 hour this weekend. That was a fun race to watch. Kept me busy all day Saturday watching that race. So there's some things I want to talk about there as well in regards to that race and how awesome sports car racing has been to start this year. And then we also have a little bit of news that broke Wednesday after the podcast regarding the Rolex 24, which bums me out. And then some more sports car news. And then a little bit of NASCAR news as well. And then obviously we're bringing back the driver of the week, bonehead of the week segment again this week as we're getting back into the racing season. We got some good nominees for you guys. And then also tonight, I want to remind you guys about our NASCAR Fantasy League for this upcoming season. We're going to do it all over again this year. We're going to get that all set up for you guys. I just wanted to get you guys in the loop because we're going to have fun. Come join us on this NASCAR Fantasy as we did last year. I think we lost in both F1 and NASCAR last year, Tom. We kind of got our asses
Yeah, I didn't do good
by the fans. So we'll see if you guys can do it again or if we can improve. It'll be fun weekly competition. I'll try and keep it more updated on a weekly basis with you guys on the Discord. Keep everybody in loop. I didn't do too good of a job at keeping it updated throughout the year, but credit where credit is due. And I gave them shout outs in the Discord. And so hopefully you guys come and join us for this awesome fantasy season again here in 2025. And if we get to it, we talked about off stream, me and Tom. We were planning on doing the F1 season preview tonight, but there's a lot of talking points that we have here in this podcast. And if we get to a point where we get pretty deep in this podcast, we don't have enough time for it, we will push that F1 season preview to next week. We're going to play it by ear tonight, though. We'll see. We might get to it. We might not. So if you're here for the F1 season preview, thanks for tuning in and stick around for more action here with some of the sports car racing NASCAR stuff that we're going to cover tonight. And if we don't get to it tonight, come back next week. And if we do get to it tonight, awesome. Thanks for sticking around. But first off, I'm here with Tom. Tom, how are you doing today, man?
Oh man, I'm great. What a beautiful Tuesday. Ready to talk about some racing, baby.
Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. It was a fun weekend, man. I actually enjoyed it. The Bathurst race was freaking awesome, but I don't know. We'll get into the NASCAR stuff. I don't really want to spoil too much of it right now. We'll get into some news first, but wow. What can we say about that? Alrighty, first off, Tom, we have to talk about it. It's the big elephant in the room. It's the biggest upset, heartbreak moment of the year, I think, so far. Big Daddy IMSA back at it again. What is going on with Tower Motorsports? Was it the skid plate that had a little bit of scuffing damage on the bottom?
Yeah, but their third spring broke or something like that. And so when it broke, under load, you're not getting any of that binding that's going on the rear end under load. And so, of course, you're just going to scrape across the whole track. And typically, in any racing series, if you have a mechanical failure and you still finish the race, I mean, much less win the race, but still, I mean, you get that claim to, you know, hey, look, racing damage, this is what happened. Here's the proof. Like, what else do you need? You know, to me, it's just kind of crazy. I don't know.
I feel like there's a conspiracy behind it, man. Because like let's be honest, nobody really picked Tower to win this race. I know you did for Dark Horse because obviously we like Bourdais, but they were not supposed to win that race, dude. Come on,
Yeah,
they weren't
they
supposed
weren't.
to win that freaking race, dude. All the other LMP2 contenders did what typical LMP2 does for the history of time, and they all took each other out of contention. And Tower was the most consistent, survived. They were caught up in multiple wrecks and found their way into victory lane. And for them to get robbed, man, it's just this is why we got the whole term Big Daddy IMSA, man. We saw it last year with the Daytona Rolex 23 58 36. We saw it with the Ferrari and BMW freaking BOPs, the Toyota BOP in the World Endurance Championship, which really is an IMSA, but same difference, you know. And we just had a lot of these issues over the last few years. Peugeot with the fueling issue with the World Endurance Championship. I mean, no more Big Daddy FIA. It's just like there's so much of these things happening in sports car racing now. It's just like, come on, man. Like races are. I think I said it best in Discord, Tom, and I wholeheartedly believe this. Racing is decided on the track on race day. It's not decided in some freaking tech booth 2 days later or a day later.
Yeah.
You know, like that's bull crap to me, man. Like
Yeah,
if
it
you
is.
don't catch it then and there at the track that day, I think that it should go. Like, I think there should be like an 8 hour clause, you know? Like if you can't catch it in the first 6, 8 hours, it's a mutant point. Move on, you know? But that's
Yeah, that
upsetting.
whole thing was crap, man. That whole thing was crap.
That sucks, man. Especially the stats too, because it would have been with that win for Bourdais, it was gonna have him the 24-hour win at Daytona in all three major classes: the top prototype, the middle tier prototype, and in a GT car. And it was like he had all three claims to fame at Daytona, and they took the
Yep.
LMP2 one away from him, man. So heartbreaking. How many more
Crap.
opportunities is he gonna get to win an LMP2 at Rolex, dude? Like this was it. This was the one. Yeah, it's so upsetting, man.
I still he's still the winner, brother.
Oh, in my opinion, he is 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
He-
I'll
yeah.
go to my grave with that one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll put that on my tombstone.
Hell yeah, brother. Oh, I love it. Alrighty. I want to jump into this next one real quick, Tom, because this has a lot to do with sports car racing. Then I'll let you jump into the next segment, which is obviously with Team Penske and Tim Cindric. I kind of want you to lead off with it because you made a good point on that, and I would like to let you lead off with that one. But first off, we do need to talk about Ford making the call for LMDH running in the World Dirt Championship, running in IMSA, coming in 2027, dude. I am so freaking stoked for this, dude. You don't even know how excited I am when you posted this news on the Discord. I started going to X and I started reading through articles. I'm like, holy cow, dude. This is freaking awesome. Everybody's hyping it up for the third attempt at Ford versus Ferrari at Le Mans. Like, dude,
Yes.
this is sick. I think we talked about it in the watch party, Tom. We were talking about like
Yes.
how with Ford finally figuring out their GT program, are they gonna make an attempt at like the top echelon of prototype racing again? You know, and it wasn't even 2 days later doing it the announcement. Tom, I'm so excited, dude. What can we expect from this project, man? This is sick.
Well, I mean, we've saw a horrible year in GT3.
Yes.
Or GTD. With Ford. Obviously, they learned a lot. I mean, come on, they got the pole and then won the race at Daytona. We'll see how they do in WEC. WEC, I feel like, will be the true test.
Yeah.
To what they found out over the offseason. Not discrediting IMSA at all, but I'm still it's kind of a little higher stakes in WEC. But
yeah.
We'll see. But I expect them to struggle a little bit, just a little bit. And then maybe not. They got that F1 deal with Red Bull, so they've already been developing a hybrid systems. So yeah, I don't know, man.
I think my only thing, I think you're right. I think because obviously WEC, it's like that is the top echelon of sports car racing in the world. As much as we love IMSA, WEC is the gold standard. It's going to be tough to see how they could stack up there, especially against the likes of Toyota and Ferrari, who don't compete in IMSA on a regular basis. But I think the biggest thing here, Tom, is the time frame that they picked, 2027. There's going to be a lot of these LMDH, LMH teams that are going to have to do a whole new chassis configuration. They can basically redo their regs because they'll be past that 3-year threshold, right? Porsche, I think right now is in year 3. Toyota didn't make a whole lot of changes to the R0110, but they're going to be able to make their changes in 2026. So they're going to be like 1 year after these teams make their new adjustments. So they're going to be able to have a lot of learning over this year and 2026, where I think 2027, they're kind of going to come in almost on a level playing field, maybe a year behind some teams, maybe 2 years ahead of some teams, which if you're 2 years behind somebody, that's a bigger advantage of 1 year. And then maybe some teams change their regs right when Ford comes in. We don't know how the Valkyrie is going to do, which obviously if you guys have been watching YouTube lately, man, holy cow, that Valkyrie is sick, dude. That V12 sounds freaking sick, bro. I'm so excited for Sebring. But yeah, dude, I'm excited to see what Ford can do, man. I'm really excited to see what they're gonna be able to do at the world stage with this GTP program, man. I mean, sports car racing is my favorite. I freaking love it, man. And just to see all these manufacturers like making this jump into like this endurance racing is so sick, man. Hey, look who it is in the chat, man. It's the Iron Man himself, Matthew Wood, dude. The beard
Hey,
is crazy,
Matt.
bro. It's been a minute. Yes, it's almost Talladega season. My dad told me today we're only 8 weeks from Dega, and I'm like, good thing I got my beard going now. Good to see you, Matt. Awesome stuff, man. Thanks for tuning in, dude. All right, Tom. We talked about the Valkyrie. We talked about Tower getting disqualified at Rolex. We talked about the Ford. Let's go into Tim Cindric stepping down at Team Penske. Or I guess from the role that he had. And you brought up a good point
Okay.
that I didn't really think about when we got into it.
Well, yeah, so here's what I'm thinking what happened truly. So 2024 St. Pete IndyCar, obviously big thing happened there. Team Penske got caught cheating. You have the owner of Team Penske now at the head of IndyCar. So I mean, obviously that had to be like a huge hit to some ego there. I feel like, because I would be thoroughly embarrassed. I really would be. But I sincerely think there was consequence. There was consequence to this all. Tim Cindric making the call, knowing that his team was going outside of the rules, knowing that it wasn't right, went ahead and did it anyways. And now look, he's stepping down. I think that's truly what happened.
I totally agree. I didn't even really put two and two together. I was thinking maybe there was some other role that he was going to step into, but then they never really said there was any major role that he was going to be on the competition side of things. And then you brought that up before we went live, and I was like, holy cow, that makes total sense. What a terrible look that was for them at Team Penske. Yeah. They own the series. They own basically the biggest race in North America, probably the biggest race in the world, in my opinion, with the Indy 500. And then they own the series. I mean, there's just so many things that makes it look bad. They own teams in the series. Just it was a bad look, man. I think you're right. I think just making changes that to save face, maybe, is probably a good way to say it. I think you're probably right 100%. But it'll be interesting to see who they get to fill that role and who can continue to propel Team Penske further, which they've absolutely started this 2025 campaign off on an absolute tear so far, dude. It's insane. So we'll see how it continues throughout this year. And I still think that that Le Mans win is coming for Penske this year. That was my bold prediction off season. So there's a lot of things that I'm gonna see. Scotty Mack winning the IndyCar Championship. There's a lot of predictions I'm in. Let's see how this all works out. And also in the chat, we got No Blackwell, NJB Designs. What's up, man? Good seeing you guys. We haven't talked to you guys in a minute. Good to have you guys here on a Tuesday night talking some racing. We're gonna talk about some cup or the what Tom said, the crash out at the Bowman's Gray here in a little bit. We got a little bit more news to go over first, though. First off, Xfinity will not return as the title sponsor for the series in 2026. Tom, interesting news, man. I mean, I guess my whole thought process on this, and we talked about off stream, but I think this gives just an opportunity for the Xfinity series to kind of finally rebrand themselves as the series it should be called anyway, the Grand National Series. You have the Cup Series with associate sponsors. You have the Truck Series. Well, Craftsman kind of runs that now, but still, everybody calls it the Truck Series. ARCA. Nobody calls it the ARCA Menard Series. You call it the ARCA Series. Now it's an opportunity to get the Grand National Series be what the Xfinity Series is. Get 4 or 5 associate sponsors to carry the series. They've got the broadcast deal with CW. It is, as Tom says all the time, and it's 100% fact, the premier stock car racing series in the entire world is that Xfinity Series. I think this is not a good thing to lose a anchor sponsor like with Xfinity, but the fact that now we can do some rebranding, make this series its own and its own special entity, that puts on the best racing of stock cars in North America, as we always say. Maybe there's a bright side in all dark sides here.
Yeah, I think, well, obviously there's another aspect to this, right? Xfinity is losing it, or I'm sorry, NASCAR is losing Xfinity as a title sponsor for Xfinity, and then going ahead and sponsoring the Fastest Lap Award, which will also come with an extra point in the Cup Series. What, next year? Yeah, next year. So with that, I think, Jay, you bring up a good point. We can go back and start renaming some of this stuff, and actually they can do what the Cup Series did, and now it's just the Cup Series. They've got a bunch of associate sponsors. They've got they're not putting all their eggs in one basket, which, let's be honest, Xfinity was a great partner for the I guess what you would call the Grand National Series, kind of like what Craftsman was to the Truck Series, even coming back. So, I think that was a great partnership. Maybe Xfinity wanted to do something else. Good for them. Whatever. I think that what they're doing with the Cup Series next year, I think it's a great thing. Add hopefully it's not a gimmick. Hopefully it's just another facet or faucet of competition that they can incorporate into the racing, kind of like what we see with F1. Daniel Ricciardo denying Lando Norris the fastest lap award at Singapore. Championship complications, stuff like that. And it'll get crazy during the oh, good Lord, excuse me. During the playoffs for next year, I think that you'll see a lot of gimmicks, or not gimmicks, but just a lot of team playing going around. You might see Alex Bowman steal a fastest lap for Kyle Larson as he's battling Bell, or whatever it may be. But I think it's a great thing, but it's also an opportunity to do what they did with the Cup Series. I honestly believe NASCAR did a good thing with the Cup Series and associate sponsors and the title and all that other stuff in the Cup Series. And honestly, they should model that in the Xfinity Series. It's just another opportunity. Or maybe they've got something lined up. I don't know. But whenever I see something like that happen, it's an opportunity to make it better. And they have that opportunity. So.
Oh, I agree. I think at NASCAR owes us some flowers because I think we said this was our idea like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, and now it is a thing. We said it. We're like, we need some bonus points for the fastest lap. We need the bonus point for fastest pit stop. We had a bunch of cool ideas, dude. I remember we were talking about it during the offseason. And I feel like this is one of the ideas we had. This is cool, man. I'm a huge fan of the bonus point for the fast lap. I think that's something that NASCAR should have had from the beginning anyway. I don't understand why that was never a thing. It's not like we're giving away 25 freaking points and a playoff berth and a birth certificate and a Nobel Peace Prize. It's one freaking point, dude. Let's just let him have it. Yeah. Like that's a cool thing to add to the sport. Let's do it, man. I'm all for it. I'm all for giving bonus points for leading the most laps. Give him 5 bonus points into the playoffs for leading the most laps throughout the regular season, man. Like who cares, bro? Like just give out these points, man. Make every race matter, every lap of every race matter, and giving a point out for fast lap, that makes every lap of every race matter. Like now it means something. Like you could be running 32nd one week and have a terrible car, and you come in 5 laps down, and you come in and pit with like 8 laps to go, and you go for fast lap, you get a bonus point. And you're not going to lose a position on track, but you're going to gain one by a bonus point.
And it'll also stop the strategy of, hey, I just won the Daytona 500. I don't need to do anything all year except test experimental stuff.
Yeah.
I need to get those extra bonus points so I get myself in a good position going into, the first 3 races.
Yeah, because that's essentially 26 extra points on the line. 1 per race.
Yeah, I mean,
regular season.
There's a lot you can do with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. I want to see more bonus points being added, just for whatever, like it's the fastest pit stop.
The only thing,
most laps led.
And sincerely, I just hope it doesn't become a gimmick.
You're right.
And that's
where they manipulate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, he had half of his tire off in this corner, so we're gonna invalidate that lap, and we're gonna give it to Corey LaJoy. Some stupid crap like that. Like, let's not do that.
That'd be awful. That would be some Big Daddy NASCAR stuff right there.
Yeah.
Oh man. Alrighty. I think that covers news. Unless there was anything else we missed, I can't really think of any of the heavy hitting news that I wanted to talk about this week. There's a lot of smaller stuff that we posted on Discord, so if you guys are interested in reading some of those articles, go ahead and jump on our Discord. There's a lot of cool stuff on there too, but I really want to kind of talk about the Bathurst 12-hour this weekend, man. What a freaking fun race that was. I wrote down a bunch of different talking points. The start was fantastic. We start the race right in the dark, early morning hours there on Sunday morning in Australia. They're 3 wide racing, dude, on the first lap, bro. We're not even into turn 3, and they're already 3 wide for the lead. They survived that somehow. I mean, that was just an incredible way to start. Really kind of mellowed out there until we got maybe an hour in. But then let's talk about Kenny Abdul, Tom. Let's talk about damn Kenny Abdul, man. This guy, dude. This guy turned into an absolute clown. He ran into the GT4 McLaren at one point. which was absolutely ridiculous. The fact that you're running into a GT4 car. There's only what 3 GT4 cars were in the entry list this year, and all the rest are basically GT3 cars, and then the experimental KTM. Which congratulations to KTM, by the way. They finished the freaking race, man. Unbelievable. Granted, they were probably like 80 laps down, but they finished that fucking race, dude. I'll give them all the credit in the world. They need their flowers this morning. But yeah, he runs into a GT4 car, dude. Basically ends the battle in GT4 in the first hour. They recover. And then I think the biggest talking point or takeaway from this race, Tom, was that one move going up Skyline, going up on the very crest of the hill. And Kenny Abul makes that move to the outside of the Groves Audi and just absolutely sent them into a freaking tailspin, slamming the wall, got freaking aerial vertical, looking off the crest of the hillside. I mean, holy cow, Tom, what a wreck that was, dude. I could not believe what I had witnessed right there.
I can't believe he didn't go over the wall.
Dude, me neither. That's what I'm saying.
Like, that was crazy. And the craziest part, and I don't really mean to like make fun of the dude or anything, but the man's groans after that was like, it was like, I mean, the dude visibly looked a little aged, and so maybe, I was like, maybe you should take a little bit of a break, my guy, because you might want to go see your old man's doctor or something. Something might be broke.
Oh my god, that was terrifying. When I saw that live, dude, I was horrifying to look at, dude. And then they didn't really have any good angles on the broadcast. It wasn't until like some guy in the freaking stands there, sitting up on the hillside there, sent that video footage of that clip, that 15-second clip, whatever, that went viral there for a day. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. The fact that he didn't go over that wall, like, I don't understand why there's not like some type of like catch fence or a netting or something there. Like, that seems like a really, like, I'm surprised that hasn't happened more. You know what I mean? Like, that is a really sketchy part of that track. I mean, you're going from basically the peak of the mountain back down the mountain. So you're going up the mountain, narrow road, then down the mountain, narrow road, and then there's not much to keep you, I guess, up on the mountain. I don't know. It's just fortunate everything was fine, but that could have been really bad really quick. So I'm glad that he walked away. But Kenny Abul, man, the fact running over one guy, which was a GT4 car that wasn't even racing him, basically. He was trying to moving chicane. You got to drive through him. You can't, or drive around him. You can't drive through him, and then to absolutely just completely destroy that car by Stephen Groves. I mean, that was absolutely ridiculous. So maybe a precursor to a little bit of Bonehead of the Week there. He made it entertaining. The first 3 hours he made hella entertaining, but he looked like an idiot. Let's talk about Valentino Rossi's absolute cinematic drive in that first stint that he got behind the wheel. What were they running, like P6, I think, before he got behind the wheel, and he drove him all the way to the lead, dude? Like, I'm just saying, bro, like, whenever Valentino Rossi gets behind the wheel of one of those freaking BMWs, dude, it is literally must-watch TV. It is the most cinematic freaking thing you will ever watch. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but like when he got in the car, dude, I freaking sat up in my chair and I'm just like freaking glued to the TV like this. I didn't want to miss it. And every time they take the camera away from him, going through traffic, I'm like, put the freaking camera back on Rossi. I don't care if we have a side-by-side with an onboard. I want to just see Rossi behind the wheel now, man. Like, how freaking awesome is Valentino Rossi, dude? What an unbelievable driver.
I mean, he's great. Honestly, it almost feels like, what the heck were you doing in MotoGP?
I know.
Like, I feel like this dude could have been like Alonso now. If he just spent his life in cars. But I mean, regardless, it just goes to show how much natural talent this guy has. On 2 wheels, on 4 wheels. I mean, this guy should absolutely be going down in some Motorsports Hall of Fame. Honestly, whenever he jumps in a GTD, GT3 car anymore, I'm not surprised.
No,
I'm just not. He's that. Honestly, he's that guy. He is that guy. And honestly, like we should expect performances like this now. When we watched Le Mans last year and his freaking crazy run there,
Yeah,
That
and
was
Fuji
just like,
and then Coda. I mean, he had
yeah,
so many memorable
but
races last year.
but
Bathurst
Lamar was
year.
just Lamar was the start of it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
actually showcasing his talent and what he can do in a car, and and it's not just with other GT3s or GTDs on track. It's multiple classes on track at the same time, and he was still doing work. I mean, that was just freaking cool, man. And it's still cool to watch him race. I mean, watching him in that Bathurst run was like watching Kobayashi in the Daytona 24.
Oh my god, dude, that's a great comparison, dude. You're totally
Yeah.
right, dude. He was the show, man. He was so much fun to watch. He's like this close to winning one, man. He's like right on
he's
the
gonna
cusp,
win one.
dude. He's gonna win one here soon, man. And when he does, dude, I'm here for it, man. I like last year. I remember. I think last year at Bathurst was like his first real go at it, and I would say the field this year is a lot stronger than it was last year. It just kind of felt that way because last year it was like really just kind of the one BMW and then the Porsche 911 that were battling for the win. This year there were so many different contenders, which we'll get into in a second. But I mean, what he was able to do, especially with the strategy they had and being able to drive his way to the front, I mean, that was just fun to watch. Valentino Rossi is just a damn good driver. I also do want to talk about that Code Brown moment there by the 183 JMEG team. Coming down the hill, the fastest corner in Australian motorsports, what they call it. His brakes let go, dude. He's probably going what 140, 150 down that straightaway, getting into that heavy left-hand braking turn, dude. And that car just goes straight. And that gravel trap looks like it goes on forever. But when they showed the onboard, dude, like I would have been shitting bricks, man. That it looked like like on TV, it looks like it's like 2 miles down the road is that wall at the end of the gravel trap. But no, dude, it's probably 150 yards. It wasn't that far, dude. Like it,
Yeah.
And he went deep into it. I probably went halfway through that freaking gravel trap, dude.
Yeah.
That was entertaining
Yeah.
as hell. I bet that dude was just absolutely Code Brown, and after that moment, dude, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, that was even watching it on TV, I was like, "Ooh." Like
I think I texted you like right after it happened.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Code Brown on the 183 team, man. That was hilarious. Oh man. And then like I said, this race had a lot of contenders. It was like Mercedes was good. Audi obviously had some issues, but they were up there running good. BMW master strategy. Ferrari kind of late made a resurgence there, or made a surge late with Chaz Monster, which was kind of cool to see. But I think the fastest Mercedes that was on the grid was the one number 888, driven at the time by Maxime Martin. Made a big mistake towards one of the later corners in the course, maybe 3 hours to go. Took them out of contention, and it kind of, at that point, in my opinion, it solidified the win for BMW, because BMW, there's just so much to say about their strategy. Like, they were able to get 2 to 3 laps of extra fuel on every stint, man. Like, I think by the end of the race, I think they did 1 less pit stop with both their cars than everybody else on track. Like, that is incredible. Like, the amount of fuel number saves that they were trying to reach, and to be able to still hold the track position at the front of the field while battling through other traffic and then all the weird safety cars and stuff that would happen. Like, unbelievable strategy by BMW, man. That had to have been one of the most masterclass, thoughtful engineering race strategies I've ever seen. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, to me, it's just a precursor to the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
100%.
If they can do that at Bathurst, man, they're gonna be easily able to do that at Le Mans. And I know Le Mans is a longer track, but it's mainly flat.
Yeah.
With Bathurst, what is it, 1,500 feet?
Yeah.
Of
Lots
elevation?
of elevation change. Yeah.
Something like that. So
And
like,
tight corners,
I mean, yeah, I mean, just to get that car up the hill takes a lot of energy, and with Le Mans, you could probably do just about the same amount of fuel saving, on that longer track, just going up a hill like that. So I think it's a great precursor to Le Mans and what we can expect out of BMW.
I agree, and I think they've got the best GT3 car in the world.
Yeah,
right
they
now.
absolutely
I
do.
100% could not. I mean, they would have won Rolex if it wasn't for them and Corvette having their issues. I think they would have legitimately won that race. Yeah, I think that BMW's just got, and they got the drivers for it. I mean, the two brothers, Kelvin Vanderlyn, Sheldon Vanderlinder, both end up going to victory lane in the same car. That was cool to see with the number 32. And also, in the third driver for them, Augusto Farfus, man. This man went from freaking public enemy number freaking 1 last week at Daytona, getting the bird from old Tommy Milner, to coming back a week later at Bathurst, a new country, and wins the 12 Hours of Bathurst. Like, what a freaking redemption arc, man. Like in 1 week, how much your life could change. And the cool thing about it too is the Aussie fans, they freaking loved Augusta Farfus there. I mean, they were cheering on that BMW. There was so much passion for BMW there, which was so surprising, especially after what we saw last week. It was just a cool story, right? Like, everything just kind of comes full circle. We get the redemption arc of a century for BMW in 6 days' time. Is just absolutely crazy to know how fast motorsports works, man. Like, 1 week you're the bottom of the barrel, and next week you're the top of the mountaintop, and then vice versa. It flips back around. That's what makes motorsports so awesome, was that kind of story. And then obviously it was a 1-2 for BMW. Valentino Rossi, Marciello, they end up going to victory lane in the second BMW. And then obviously Kenny Abule had to go stand on the podium with all the other guys taking themselves out. They end up putting that Sun Energy machine up on the third step of the podium. So I thought it was a great race, Tom. I enjoyed the hell out of it. It wasn't as action-packed as you would get from multi-class racing. Well, there was multi-class, GT3, GT4, but it wasn't like prototypes or whatnot. It didn't have the Rolex feel or Le Mans feel or World Endurance Championship feel. But for being a GT3 race, it had everything you wanted. I mean, you had strategies, you had crashes, you had great passes, you had some 3-wide moves at points, hard racing, a little bit of bumper business. I mean, everything you could want. Comers and goers. I mean, penalties galore. I mean, that's kind of what made the BMW number 46 team with that Valentino Rossi lose that race. Is they got a 10-second penalty later in that race, like with a couple hours to go. And they were back in like 6th, buried, and they had to drive back through the field. So, fun race, man. I enjoyed the hell out of it. That was a great Bathurst 12 hour, man. I enjoyed it. Alrighty. I think it's time we do it, man. We got to talk about it. It's on the docket. We got to talk about the old crash out, as Tom calls it. I freaking love that, man. Alrighty. I wrote down some notes here, so we're gotta go through some of this. But first off, we have the Heat Races of Destruction, is what I named them. Justin Haley. That 7 car's cursed, man. I swear, anybody that jumps in that 7 car just becomes a freaking weapon, dude. It's just a fact. I mean, he made Corey LaJoie look like a clean race car driver this weekend, man. He absolutely TKO'd Kyle Busch. I honestly, I'm not even gonna get into the guys that he ran into, because the list is shorter with the guys that he didn't run into, you know. So, but Kyle Busch was all pissed off at him, ends up hitting him under yellow after he gets turned by Justin Haley. Their fans are hyping it up. I mean, it was insane. NASCAR goes on the radio, tells him to calm down. I thought that was the moment. Remember in the media center when Kyle Busch said, "It's scripted that we're gonna have a fight here tonight," and he's like, "But I can't tell you who it's gonna be." I mean, that I was like, maybe it was Kyle Busch. I don't know. It just seems too great right now. But we didn't get the fight. That might have been the closest we got to any sort of type of altercation or fight that we had this weekend. But I guess the biggest things from the heat races is Ryan Blaney gets taken out, gets spun out, finished dead last in his heat race. He's got to take the provisional to get into the main event. Larson was freaking god awful slow, sucked really bad in his heat race. He ended up having to go to an LCQ. AJ Allmendinger, Cole Custer had a little bit of feud on the front stretch. That was kind of fun to watch. Allmendinger kind of dumping himself. Ryan Preece had no bueno with old John Hunter Nemechek. Ends up turning him around into the wall, backs in. Like, that was pretty entertaining. Ryan Preece don't give a fuck. He's like, if you're gonna give it, you're gonna take it too, motherfucker. Like, I'm just gonna give it to you. So that was kind of cool to watch. And then the LCQ, there's nothing else I can really say about that either. It was just a crash fest, man. Justin Haley and Ty Gibbs having a little bit of a go at it again. Justin Haley becoming an absolute freaking weapon. Barry basically buried and bulldozed his way to the front of the field to advance in the LCQ, which was pretty impressive. He didn't have as much damage as he really did, you know. So, and then Larson obviously wins the LCQ. I don't still really think there's anything else to talk about with the Clash, dude, or with the heat races and LCQ, man. Like, that wasn't racing. It really wasn't, man. Like I guess the best way I can describe it is I only enjoyed it for the fact that I went into it with the mindset of knowing it wasn't going to be racing. And I just decided I'm just going to enjoy whatever the hell this is, man. Because sometimes just watching cars just run into each other and suck terribly is just, like, don't put an expectation. I guess that's what I'm saying. Just don't put the expectation on it. You're not going to have a bad time. I honestly didn't have that bad of a time. I just was laughing the whole time because it was absolutely freaking retarded. I mean, it was hilarious, dude. How could those guys leave the track that day and have respect for themselves? How? I don't know. I couldn't. I couldn't imagine. I mean, I don't know, man. There's just so many viral moments from the heats and LZQ. It's just, I don't know. It's not racing, right? It's not racing, dude. That wasn't racing. It was a crash fest, man. It was like no, that would be a good commercial. So the new Wreckfest 2 game's coming out, which I'm super excited about. We may probably most likely have a series coming up soon with some Wreckfest 2. But it's like that Office meme where Jim Halper's like sitting in the thing and he's like, this and this, same thing. It's like if you had the Busch Light Clash highlights and then the Wreckfest trailer like up above and below each other, that would be that meme. Like, oh man, I don't know. Is there anything you want to add to that? We can get to the main event here in a second, or if you want to lead off with some of the stuff you saw in the main event. I mean, I feel like I've been rambling here.
No,
I want to hear what you guys.
I don't. I mean, I think you hit the nail right on the head with that. Because I watched the highlights and there really wasn't anything of substance, to be honest with you. Not at all. No. Yeah. Go into the main event.
You know, it's like I got another meme in my head now. It's like just by watching that made me stupid or whatever. I don't even know how that meme goes, but it's like everything you just said just made me stupider. Yeah. No, it's the Billy Madison meme when he's doing the decathlon or whatever. I don't know. Adam Sandler, Billy Madison. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. See, that's how much brain rot this race gave me. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about right now. This was so bad, dude. Oh, all right. Yeah, let's just get into main event. There's really only things to talk about is Chase Elliott dominated this race. Hamlin did battle him there at the halfway point. Let's just say Larson was bad. Byron was bad. Busch was bad. I mean, I could just continue to name guys that just ran terrible in this race. Bell had a pretty cool moment running into Hocevar. That was pretty cool. Host and Karsavar ended up getting a little bit of shine there in turn 3. Bubba and BK ended up having a little issue. Bubba turns him around. But we got to talk about Blaney. Blaney starts dead last, P23. Drives his way all the way through the field, finishes P2, man. What a freaking drive, man. Look at Blaney, man. Like, that was the only reason I kept watching this race. Like, this race was freaking terrible. There was really nothing there of any substance or value. But just the fact that Ryan Blaney was just driving his way through the field, like, I think Blaney is the best short track racer in the Cup Series. I don't even think it's freaking close, dude. Like, what a freaking drive by Blaney. I mean, I counted him out, man, when he spun out in his heat race. I was like, he'll take a provisional start last. Like, he ain't gonna move through the field 200 laps. There's no freaking way. And he damn near won the damn race. I mean, God, Blaney's so freaking fun to watch, man.
Yeah, you know, Blaney was fun to watch, and just watching him come through the field, you know, I think there's always something to appreciate there, right? The will to not give up, the absolute raw talent that was on display, everything that was the chaos that was just going on around him, he ignored it all. And he saw the bigger picture and continued on. I think there's a lot to unpack there just from Ryan Blaney's race, which was really the star of the show. Let's be honest, because there really isn't anything else there. Half the broadcast, man, I was like, oh, God. Why is Mike Joy trying to act like Lee Diffie? What is he doing? I mean, dude, you had a 2-wide situation coming down the front straightaway, and I swear to God, Mike Joy was just absolutely soiling his underwear while putting on another Depends. I mean, that guy was just bouncing off the walls like freaking, I don't know, the Road Runner or something. I mean, this guy was just, it's like he finally read some comments on X, reading other people's comments of how bad he sucks. And everybody just talking about how great Lee Diffie is, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm just gonna take a page out of this guy's book," and he just starts like garbage. I mean, it was terrible, honestly. Like, here's a message to Mike. GG's on a career. All right. Past due, has been. It's okay to be that. You had a great career. It's okay. Let's go sit up in I don't know, in Florida, wherever, whatever, dude. Just do us a favor, please, for the love of God.
Just get Wilner in there.
Here's the other thing that happened. All right, we were mid spin and wrecking of Kyle Larson and William Byron in turn 3. And here's old freaking Clinty Boyer talking about, man, that 12 car rolls really good through the middle of the corner. Dude, what are we doing here? Did Clint finish off his 12-pack before he got into the booth? Somebody take that ID away from him or something, because good lord, man, y'all got it. And then here's freaking Kevin Harvick talking about skibbity something. I don't fucking know what the hell he's talking about. I mean, by God, we're at a freaking NASCAR race, and we're talking about skibbity toilet or something. Like, can we talk about the freaking racing that's going on? And instead of talking about another guy who's ahead of all the chaos that's going on, let's talk about the chaos. All right? Or something. Let's get a good replay. What happened? Is it just some short track racing? Is it bumping? Are people mad? Instead of talking about, man, the 12 car rolls really good through the corner. You know, to me, after I heard Mike Joy doing his Lee Diffie wannabe voice and Clint Boyer just regurgitating crap out of his mouth, I was just like, what is this? What am I watching? I mean, the fans probably had a pretty good show because they didn't have to listen to Mike Joy and Clint Boyer and Kevin Harvick. I mean, shit, I'd probably have a great time too. I'd be probably 20 beers deep, hanging out with all the idiots in the crowd too. I mean, I'd be the idiot probably, but you know, I just, man, it's almost all these people talking about turning off the volume during Lee Diffie races.
Yeah, those guys are idiots.
But you can stand this. This was terrible, awful. I mean, it was so freaking bad. It was so bad.
Oh, it was awful.
The Bathurst 12-hour was just so much better. The British guys who covered the Daytona 24 at 3 o'clock in the morning did a better job.
By himself. Yeah, he killed it. Yeah.
No, let's be honest here. He was still pretty bad.
Oh, he was terrible, but he better than what we saw on Sunday.
But it was better than freaking Mike Joy and Clint Boyer and him having a appendage measuring contest with Kevin Harvick.
No, I know.
I just... Oh my God.
Well, the thing that sucked is the camera angles. They were terrible. Like, the broadcast itself was just garbage because, like, they would be talking about something. Like, there would be a battle going on, right? Side by side. I'm like, oh, this is cool. We got to watch this. And then they'd cut cams to a different cam to do like a nose cam or an onboard with somebody else. And then they're still talking about this battle, but we're watching this. And I'm like, what's going on right now? Like, go back to the side by side shit. That's what I want to watch.
They had like 12 cameras. And sincerely, think about this. They had 12 cameras around a freaking football stadium. And they couldn't catch everything.
Oh, I know. Flow Racing does a way better job, and I've got a lot of complaints about Flow Racing.
Well, let's be honest. That one Chili Bowl announcer was just awful.
Man. He was terrible.
I forget his name.
Yeah, it's not even worth remembering, dude. It was bad.
Dude,
yeah.
Just go back to the peanut factory, man. This ain't for you. Like, but sincerely, I mean, it was a football field length racetrack. I mean, seriously, they probably had more than 12 cameras. I specifically remember counting 12 different views. So, and they still couldn't catch everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
and then we're doing,
oh my gosh.
Well, and then the thing is too, is it's 100 lap or 200 lap race on short track with a 100 lap halftime break, but yet we still had to have 3 side by side commercials per segment. That is absolutely ridiculous. Like, we know cautions are coming, right? Why can't we run 30 laps without a commercial? There's just so much wrong with everything wrapped into this whole ordeal, man. It's just, I agree. I think the atmosphere was cool, man. Like, the stands, they look like they're having a fucking awesome time, man. Like, I would have loved to have been in those stands right there that weekend and watch.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they didn't put any cams, like, in the stands. Like, rarely would we get shots of the drunk guys tripping over themselves and spilling beer all over each other.
I almost remember, didn't they have, like, at one point in time, like, a grandstand reporter?
Yes.
Yeah, and they would just interview people.
Yes.
Like, during cautions and stuff like that. And it was, like, some of the best TV ever. I'm almost positive they did that.
They did that for a while. I swear they did that. I can honestly remember races on, like, TNT that did. They had some dude in a jumpsuit just fire suit walking around the grandstands just interviewing people. Yeah, they need to bring that back, man. Like, and get the mics and stuff tuned in on the crowd, because really that race wasn't about the cars on the track, in my opinion. It was never meant to be a race, right? It was supposed to be a shit show, and it was supposed to be, let's watch the drunk rednecks. It's like being at a zoo, right? You want to see the damn rednecks throw beers at each other, and flip each other off, and scream and yell and puke all over themselves.
This whole event was
a flop,
centered around nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it was.
And they fucked that up. Like, they still couldn't even get that right. I mean, and I don't know, man. Me and you have not been excited about this since they've announced it, and I really have not. My opinion of it hasn't changed one bit. Like, the race wasn't terrible. Like, the main event,
it was super mid.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. Like Tom said, super mid. We did see legit passing without having a bump. Like, let's give a shout out to, I think Ryan Blaney and SVG deserve the two biggest shout outs in this race. Those two cars were the cleanest two cars at the end of this race. And they both made lots of passes and didn't have to wreck people to do it. Like, Blaney, I think he only moved one guy the whole race, and that was Denny Hamlin late when he knew he had to get by him because he was going to lose touch with Elliott. Other than that, he drove from 23rd to 3rd without touching a single freaking car. SVG finished, 9th? Didn't run over a single car, didn't go a lap down. I mean, what a great race by SVG too, man. And that's what I wanted to see. We got all the crap and bullshit, which I expect, so I let all the Del Yeah fans kind of enjoy that part of it. But I don't know, man. The tire wasn't terrible. I mean, I felt like there was enough tire save. Like, you could tell they were saving tires for the first 60 laps, 70 laps of each stint, which was good to see. I like seeing tire saving. Towards the end of the race, was tires a big factor? I would say so. I mean, we saw it, especially again when Elliott was going through lap traffic. I mean, you could tell a lot of those guys in the back end. I don't know if a lot of them had just given up, or if they didn't save enough tire. It's hard to tell. I don't know.
Here's one thing that I did notice though, that when those cars pulled off of the track and went into the garage area, man, the rubber buildup.
Yeah.
It's like they actually did have a soft tire, and I mean, it was pretty cold.
Mm-hmm.
So
which
probably
usually
not
does
optimal.
The opposite effect, right? Most times.
Well, it depends. Yeah, it just depends on tire compounds, right? And maybe Goodyear was just throwing something again, like what they did at Bristol last year. But I think regardless, though, that could be a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
For maybe future short tracks.
No, I agree. I think that's the only positive I'm really taking out of the whole weekend is the fact that I think the tires, I think they're getting closer to where they need to be. There's still a lot of improvement, but I feel like we're getting a lot closer than we have been. Holy
We already know the solution, Jay.
We do.
Know it.
Yeah.
They did it. They did it at Bristol last year. Spring Bristol. So, I mean, all they got to do is just get that secret formula back.
Mm-hmm.
And manipulate it for the speedways, manipulate it for the 2 milers, 1.5s. Just make it like that.
Yeah.
Man, if they could make the tire last 5 laps, could you imagine a race like that?
That'd be probably the greatest.
It'd be freaking chaos. It'd be awesome. You'd see drivers going like 30% slower around the racetrack just to get 2-3 more laps out of the tires, and then you see other guys just zooming by.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we saw at Bristol. I think that'd be cool.
I agree. I think we need to do one of these days here in the future, Tom, we need to do a sit down watch party where we rewatch the Bristol race from last year. Like, we'll just show it on screen and everything. I don't even care. We won't monetize it or anything. We'll just run it. We'll just sit back and relax, watch it one of these weekends. It'll be fun. Shoot, we could probably do it this weekend. That'd be fun. Oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That just came to my mind.
No, my favorite part about this race was Stenhouse and who was it? Tim Brown?
Burt Myers. Yeah.
Burt Myers, thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Burt Myers getting into it. And then I posted it in the NASCAR drama. There was Burt Myers sitting right outside of Stenhouse's trailer, smiling, waiting for him. Team Amerivet posted it and said, "Where you at, Stenhouse?"
Oh man!
I love it.
The crowd videos I was seeing, dude. You had like half the stands just double finger, man, pulling their Tommy Milner out of nowhere, man. That was fun. That was a great time, man. Like that is another thing, man. I wish they would have just focused more on the crowd, because that's what we were there for. That's what the whole thing was for. It was for the people in the damn stands. That's what it was about. It wasn't about what was happening on track, in my opinion. It was all about the fans, and we just didn't get enough of that. We didn't. They kept. That's another thing in the broadcast. Boyer and Harvick and Mike Joyer over there telling us, "Man, the stands are going freaking wild right now," and you listen to the TV and it's crickets. Dude, I don't know. Did you have that problem with the broadcast too? I swear to God, watching the broadcast, it sounded like somebody was like tapping on like a tin can the whole time, like this. And it was ambient and quiet like this the whole time in the background. And I kept thinking, like, do I have my faucet on or something? So I go look in my bathroom, like check, nothing's running. Then check my shower, make sure I didn't like have it running or anything. I'm like, what the hell is that sound? And then I was like, wait, is somebody outside my window just tapping on it, like just tap? And I was like, what the hell is that sound? I don't know if you picked that up or not either, but that was like the weirdest sound, bro. And I was like, why is the ambience picking up?
I think it's a pen clicking. Because
Boyer's just sitting there.
Exactly. It's exactly Boyer, because every time Boyer's in the booth, I hear it.
I know. I swear to God. I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, it was the most annoying thing, dude. Like, I was just so annoyed by it. That's why I kind of like turned the volume really low at the end of it. And I had subtitles on because I just couldn't listen to that anymore. It was like one of those just like fingernails on a chalkboard, man. I don't know. There's just so much wrong with that broadcast, but I don't know. Where do you hope that we see with the Clash going forward? I would love to see more road courses, man, to be honest with you. Like
honestly, what they need to do, Jay, they need to take it to the roots. I think they had a good idea with Bowman Gray. It's just, I mean, and then they got to focus more on the fans too. I really think that the fans made that show. You start going to more tracks like that. Let's go to Thompson Motor Speedway. Let's go to Stafford,
Berlin.
Slinger. Let's take it to dirt. Let's take it to Slingers, Kokomo. Let's Eldora. Let's do some crazy stuff with the Clash, and let's try to have some fun with it. Let's experiment a little bit. I think that there's a lot. I think there's a lot there. In fact, you kind of do it how IndyCar did it. You know how they did the All-Star race at Thermal Club last year?
Yeah.
Okay, well now it's a points-paying race because they saw opportunity in it. Why can't NASCAR do that?
I like that thought process. I do like that a lot, especially with you when you have 2 exhibitions a year. I mean, why does the All-Star race have to be at like Wilkesboro or whatever? Like, why can't we do the Clash like I like the idea with the Coliseum.
Lime Rock.
Let's go to Lime Rock.
Take it to Lime Rock.
Yeah, dude, Lime Rock would be badass, dude. Fuck yeah, I'm down. Laguna Seca, man. I still want to see that once in my lifetime. I want to see a freaking cup car going down the freaking corkscrew Laguna so bad, man. I think it'll be.
I feel like it could happen in our lifetime.
Dude, I
feel
hope
like
so,
it could.
That's like my dream. I don't even give a shit if I win the lottery, dude. I'm gonna like fucking pay freaking Rick Ware just to take a cup car down to Laguna one day, just to see it, It's like a bucket list item. I want to see it so bad. But yeah, I agree, man. Like, I think the short track route is kind of a good idea, especially if you go to like different markets that you would never go to at all. Like let's just say go to
Colorado.
Yeah, North Dakota. Okay, dude. There's North tracks
Dakota.
up there. Let's go.
Minnesota.
Yeah, why not? Any markets you don't go to, just go freaking. You've already proven you can build a short track inside of a stadium. You've proven you can race these cars on dirt. You've proven you can race them on a quarter mile. you could race them on a street. You could go race them on a purpose built road course. You could race them in the high banks of Daytona. I mean,
all we have
take
left
these
is to
fuckers
jump
anywhere.
them.
Yeah, yeah, we got to take in the Wild West next. We'll just wrap it all into one. Oh man, yeah, that's awesome, dude. I like that idea. That's a good idea. Yeah. All right, so I just blanked out. Oh, Elliott wins. I don't think I ever noticed or even mentioned that. Oh, that fan. I had to post that on.
Yes.
on X. That was the best.
Hey, he called in one time. Don't you remember that?
Oh, dude, I know. Yeah, dude. Fuck, we got to bring him back on. Old Buster Biggs, man. He was having a hell of a time there at the Clash, dude. Yeah, we'll have to have him call in again, man. That was a fun time. Yeah, that was cool, man. That was everything I imagined him to look like.
Dude, that dude's face is my face every weekend watching it NASCAR.
Dude, 100%. Dude, yes. What the fuck is happening? That was the coolest thing. We gotta make some more memes with that dude for some future stuff going on this year. I mean, that face is a meme face, man. Like that is used in so many scenarios, man. That was great, dude. That dude, what a legend. Alrighty. All right, no points, obviously, non-points race, so we'll not cover that this week. I do want to go drivers of the week. Valentino Rossi. This could be just me being biased, but like I said, pure cinema. He deserves it.
It's not.
Me too.
It's not bias.
Yeah. I mean, unbelievable. SVG, I gotta give him a nod. I mean, to go to a race where you literally have no experience and you're just gonna get freaking abused and beaten up. Not only was clean, got through his heat race, locked himself in, and then runs top 10, P9 actually in the Clash. Had a great run as well. It was unbelievable. And then obviously Ryan Blaney. Last P2 from last, just an unbelievable drive, man. Great job by him, dude. Freaking love it. Jimmy 6 time in chat. I didn't realize you guys even exist anymore. Yeah, neither did I. That's awesome.
Nice to see you back.
Yeah, it's good to see you back for sure. Yeah, sometimes I wonder that same thing myself. Oh man. All right. Boneheads of the week, obviously Kenny Abule, TKO on Stephen Groves. If you guys haven't seen the clip, I got a short of it on the channel. You could probably find it all over the internet. I think Tom even posted in Discord. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. I mean, we didn't really have a good camera angle till some drunk Aussie dude in the bleachers over there gave us one, but that was unbelievable. But Kenny Abule being an absolute freaking weapon this weekend at Bathurst. Justin Haley, bulldozer mode. The curse of the 7 car continues. I think they should just rebrand that car away from the 7. I mean, that car is just like, I feel like when you get in that car, you just become an absolute weapon. I feel like that's just what it's meant to be. And then obviously Recce Roundhouse becoming public enemy number 1. I think the one thing you can't do when you go to a place where everybody there has a certain favorite and you end up wrecking that favorite, the fact that there wasn't 16,000 people that came up to his hauler at the end of that race and beat the hell out of old SpongeBob pants wearing Recce Roundhouse is an absolute freaking miracle, man. What an idiot that guy was. Jimmy 6 time says, plus sun energy sucks. Yeah, dude, it freaking does suck, dude. I've never had it. I just am assuming it sucks. Yeah. Dude, can we talk about how much of a goof this guy looks like too, man? Like he looks like one of those, like, if you were to like picture some dude that lived on like a California beach and went surfing every weekend, that's him. Like he looks like a freaking beachhead, dude. Like wow. Yeah, dude. Like he's a goofy looking dude, man. I'm telling you what.
His head structure is like literally a pineapple. Like, look at that thing.
He's such a goof, dude. I mean, oh man. And just to see him on the podium at the end of the race, it just infuriated me. It's like, I wasn't like mad, but I was just like, I lost a little bit of respect for the event right there. I was like, how could they let this guy walk on the podium? Like, this is ridiculous. Oh man. It's not it's not a curse of the 7 car, it's a talent curse. I think you're right, dude. I don't know, man. Like, I always thought Justin Haley was like one of those guys that was underrated that could actually make something of himself. But dude, ever since he got this Spire ride, man, it just went to shit, dude. The handbasket, real quick, dude. I mean, I lost a lot of respect for him this week, man. That was ridiculous, dude. He made himself look like a clown. Yeah, so that'll do driver of the week, bonehead of the week. And we're already an hour in, Tom. So I think we're gonna have to move our F1 season preview to next week. which I think will work out good anyway, because next week we're going to be previewing the Daytona 500 for you guys. We'll give you our pole picks, our race picks, then all of our Xfinity and truck and ARCA picks and everything as well. But I think it'll also be a good segment where we can lead off with some F1 season preview. I've been wanting to preview it so bad, so it's the last one we got to preview for the year for these series. So I think we'll save that one for next week. So keep it more interesting. We'll talk some Daytona. We'll talk some F1 next week. Maybe there'll be actually, I think it'll be a better idea too, because the the liveries for the F1 cars is coming out here soon, isn't it, Tom? I think you post on the Discord. I'm trying to remember. Are we?
Yeah, it's like mid-February.
Okay, mid-February. Yeah, so we can maybe show off some liveries or something here on the podcast next week. Maybe I'll build some scenes and stuff. We can look at some cars. And
18th.
Heck yeah. We got all the driver lineups are set. A lot of newcomers. So I definitely want to talk about a lot of the newcomers and maybe some expectations with them. I'll get that fantasy league set up for our for F1 for 2025, as well as our NASCAR fantasy. I know. I'm pretty sure last year, Josh, you joined us last year on that fantasy league, I believe, last year. I think you kicked our ass too. I think me and Tom finished dead last in that. But we're gonna be doing that again, so it should be a lot of fun. I'll have everything put up in our Discord. I'll also make up a community post here over the next day or so when I get everything set up for our NASCAR fantasy league again. But it should be fun, man. I had a good time last year. We'll see how much better we do this year or how much worse we do. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's gonna be an interesting one for sure. Lots of interesting stuff. And then obviously again F1. That was a fun time last year with F1. We finally figured it out at the end of the season what we were doing wrong. I can't remember who it was last year, but they absolutely meted the hell out of that strategy to beat us in that fantasy last year in F1. I was kind of a little impressed, but a little salty at the same time, because I was like, damn, dude, I wish I'd have thought of that strategy where you went constructor heavy, then drivers. We focused drivers, then constructors, and that's where we kind of screwed ourselves. So I think we got the meta now, Tom. I think we're gonna do better in F1 fantasy in 2025.
Well, I understand it a little bit better now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because we didn't know that we took points away when you changed your lineup. Like halfway through, so we were just giving points away basically. So yeah, there's a lot of things we did wrong last year, which we're gonna improve on it this year. We're gonna have a lot more fun. Like I said, if you in our Discord, it'll be under the Dega Boys Fantasy Games tab. I'll get everything set up, and then we'll get rolling with some F1 and NASCAR fantasy, man. We're back in the motorsport season, Tom. It feels good again, man. Life is good. Everything's all right with the world again. Some great racing we've had so far. We've had 3 weekends of racing with Chili Bowl, Rolex, and then Bathurst and the crash out. So it's been fun, man. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm excited. Watch parties coming up. For the month of February, we're gonna do Daytona 500, and then in March we'll open up the polls again to you guys. We'll do community vote watch party every month, and then me and Tom are gonna pick one that we want to do if it doesn't win the poll. So we're gonna have a lot more fun with watch parties. Bring on some more cast characters. Maybe Dallas comes jump in on some of these with us. Jared even. It's gonna be a fun year, man. It's gonna be a fun year. We're already getting off to a good start. Haven't had a whole lot of BS. A whole lot. I mean, we've had some, but it's been fun, man. I've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah. I'm excited for IndyCar to start back up.
Yes, sir. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to add here before we close this out, Tom? Pretty much think we got it all. I mean, there's a lot of news that we didn't cover, but a lot of it's just small news that you can catch on our Discord. So if you guys want to stay up to date with any of that stuff, our Discord, that link is in the description below. Come join our Discord, come hang out, come post some news, rumors, some memes, drama, whatever it may be, and any type of motorsport you enjoy. We've got every type of motorsport basically covered in our Discord. It's the greatest racing community on the internet. I promise you that. And you can come meet some new friends and to continue to grow this Discord and keep you guys up to date with everything happening. We just have a good time in there, man. Post memes every day. It's so much fun. Also, if you guys want to support us as well, we have social media platforms. We got everyone that you could basically imagine. All of them are down on the screen below, as well as in the description below. Go support us over there. We try to keep up to date with everything going on with the YouTube channel, and all of our streams and everything is through there. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell. Stay up to date with any more content. I implore you to go check out some of those hater guide videos. They're pretty fun making those. And the Daytona 500 one's out. It's been out for a while now. So if you guys want to go check that one out, give that some support, give it a like, that would mean the world. So Also, one last thing, if you guys would like to support us even more, we have 2 other options. We have a merch store where you can buy some Dega Boys merch, Big Daddy NASCAR, Big Daddy IMSA, whatever it may be. Really good quality content. Get you a hat, get you a beanie, get you some t-shirts, some sweatpants, whatever it may be, coffee mug, for your busy days at work, tote bags, carry around all your diecast or whatever it may be that you get at racetracks. All that goes and supports us a ton. If you also want to support us even more, we have a Patreon page. We have some content on there as well, especially some stuff from Talladega last year, which we were, what, 9 weeks away, 8 weeks away, Tom, from Talladega, man. Oh boy, super excited about that.
So ready.
It's gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited. But yeah, you could join our Discord. A small amount every month just helps support our channel as we continue to try and work our way back up to the monetization again, man. We're so close, so close. Just need those watch hours, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll keep grinding. We enjoy motorsports, and the content doesn't stop around here. It just keeps coming year round. Motorsports never has an off season. It just has a time where the cars aren't racing. Alrighty. That'll do it for tonight, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Tom, thanks for joining me again, man. This was fun. This was fun. Good weekend of racing.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, we'll catch you all in the next one. Have a good rest of your week.